underneath the red dot. That was called Bullfield Farm. It's not standing anymore. It was my recollection of it as a child was that it was a very, very old building. I used to go there for piano lessons. It was lived in by a family called the Whites. This is taken outside Derby End Methodist Chapel, which is the chapel that's now reconstructed in the Black Country Museum. And that's me as a bridesmaid in 1961. And these are the folks that used to live in Bullfield Farm, in just off Springfield Lane. So Mr. and Mrs. White, Jane and David, their son, known as young David, who used to give me piano lessons. And the daughters were Muriel and Marion, and I'm blowed if I can remember. I can't remember who was who. And there's me, and this was another neighbour. So we weren't related. It was just that we were sort of neighbours across the field. And this is, I think she was called Joan Worrell, and she was also a neighbour from somewhere in Springfield Lane. Their farmhouse, Bullfield Farm, they moved away, and they moved to a council house down by the canal in Derby End somewhere. And Bullfield Farm was left standing empty. And we moved in 63, and sometime in the later 60s, it was burnt down. And I can remember the night my mother looked out of our back window. We lived in Rowley Regis then, quite high up, and my mother could see this fire down in Springfield, because she always liked the house that we moved to because she could see her old house, or her old area from it. I don't think you could actually see 25 Springfield Lane, but you could see a bit of Springfield. And she could see the fire, and I remember she was absolutely distraught. And she would never go back. And I've barely been back myself.